Hey everyone, welcome back to another Today in Tarkov. BSG didn't let down, and like a lot of people suspected, we have a new event for the weekend. What's this event? Well, we'll get into it in a second, but long story short, we got a tweet from them showing a screenshot. Somebody took a picture of a website with their phone, and it's the Tarkov flea market. So apparently the flea market is on a website, and there's internet in Tarkov, and there are people who care enough to make reviews and read reviews and stuff like that, I guess. I'm not really sure. That's what this boils down to. We had Midnight translate a bunch of the stuff. There's not a lot of there's not like a ton of information here. What it boils down to is it's like a review on somebody who bought a used monitor and a keyboard. They had Terra Group not for resale stickers stamped all over them or whatever, as well as the ROPN keys were wore out on the keyboard. Really? ROPN?
What the fuck? Holy shit, dude, what's the matter? What happened? What's going on? There's so much
content.
I don't know what to think about this, besides it's awesome that somebody else at BSG is childish enough to put stuff like this in the game. I think it's funny, but whatever. Another little interesting tidbit is up at the top, you'll see one of the tabs that isn't open. It has ARRS terminal. So what ARRS stands for is Automated Radio Relay Signal. I'm not going to go into the great detail about what this is. You can go look it up on the wiki if you want, because there's a lot there. I could probably do a 40-minute video on it. But it was how BSG launched Tarkov, essentially. It was kind of like this riddle game they did, and there was code breaking and riddles and all sorts of stuff through this website that led up to the launch of the game, or the reveal, or however you want to look at it. And it was used again back in like March or April of 2019. And to my knowledge, I could be wrong here. Don't hesitate to correct me if I am, but it hasn't been used since then. So it's been nearly 3 years since we've seen this Rs terminal thing have any use. I don't know if it's got any use now, but it's being mentioned. So on the game side of this, to go with all of this, we got a bunch of new barters on the traders. Not all of them. Fence got left out because he's Fence and doesn't do barters. And Jaeger doesn't have any either, which maybe because he's just a hermit who lives in the woods. And what's he need electronics for, which is what all of these barters are centered around. All the high-level military tech spawns, that's what the traders are asking for. I mean, there's SSDs and stuff in there too, but the high-level military spawns are what are the items you need to barter to get some of the gear. Now, they're all on loyalty level 1 traders, which means they're available to everybody, even if you're level 1. And as far as limits go, they just say a lot, so it doesn't look like they'll be running out of them anytime soon. Now, before you freak out and think, why all of the military tech loot that's super rare, why are they doing a bunch of barters with that? I haven't been able to like do super scientific testing or anything, but I ran half a dozen raids or so on a couple of different maps. It's safe to say the loot, at least electronics loot on Lighthouse and Reserve, has been bumped for sure. I got out with backpacks full of Tetrises and military power cables and MGTs and all sorts of stuff. Interchange doesn't seem to have changed. Customs doesn't seem to have changed. So if you guys see anything different, make sure you let us know in the comments if you see them on different maps other than Lighthouse and Reserve. Now, somehow this is all tied in with our buddy Ginger, who gave us a letter the other day talking about the new trader at the Lighthouse not being around and nobody to trade this high-level tech gear to, or it not being available. And I was kind of on the board that there was going to be a shortage or something, but I wasn't really sure because it read weird, but it looks like now it's not going to be a shortage. So not 100% sure on the lore of this. The Lighthouse trader, maybe he takes electronics, and since he's not around, the other traders want to get in on it. I'm not 100% sure yet. I'm going to dig into it a little bit more. We'll do an update video tomorrow that encompasses a lot of this lore stuff from the last month or so. It kind of puts a bunch of pieces together. At least I think I put a bunch of pieces together. I could be completely nuts and wrong, but we'll see. But without wasting any more time, let's jump right in and look at what the traders have to offer. We'll go through it pretty quick. I'm not going to talk a great deal about this, but proper loyalty level 1 barters. You have 120 pack of BS, 9x39 BP, the 30 round or 30 package of Eagle Nick now, or PPBS. This is the top end 545 ammo. You have 2 impact grenades. Now, the scary thing here is these are not limited. You can do as many as you want. So I think we're going to be seeing a lot of impact grenades. So just be warned, it's going to be worse than the start of the wipe. Okay, guys, a couple of changes are going to come in here because after we get the video done, BSG made a couple of changes. Starting off, the RGNs do have a limit now. So you're limited to max 2 per with these barters. They added a limit there, which is a good thing because then you won't have hundreds of these grenades floating around all over the place. And then along with this, we have the Zuck, which is super cool. This armor was available last wipe for barter. They took it out this wipe, so it's back. It's a class 6. It's ceramic, so it doesn't repair really well, but it's got pretty high hit points. Again, it's class 6. Something to run it as level 1. You can throw some class 6 on that covers your chest and your stomach. Now, Therapist, she's primarily stims. That's what we got here. We got a bunch of stims from her. There is an SJ1 stim, an ETGC stim, which is the green stim, quick heal stim, as well as a mule. And then lastly, the SJ9, which is really interesting because this is kind of a super rare, rare stimulant, and you can only get it from killing cultists, or you could craft it on the Christmas tree earlier this year. But basically, it makes you not invisible, but a lot harder to see on thermals, which is going to come in handy when we look at some of these other barters in a sec. But that's all there is for Therapist. We'll skip Fence, go over to Skier, and this is why that SJ9 is interesting, because now you've got Reap IRs and thermals. Reap IRs are thermals. Reap IRs and Fleers. Okay, second change here since we first recorded this is they actually removed the Reap IR barter. So if you got them beforehand, lucky you, but for the rest of us, that is out. The old barter is still there, the one that's on level 4, Skier, but the one that was on level 1 is not. You still have the Fleer though. And after that, we'll jump over to Peacekeeper. He's kind of got quite a few here actually. So we get the 338 Lapua AP round. This is the one-hitter quitter, even with class 6 armor on bullet. 1 bullet for 1 MGT. So though I imagine these things are already really expensive, if there's even any on the market, but they are probably going to be bought up for people that have lots of money to buy that AP round and make everybody's life miserable with the 338 Lapua. But on top of that, we got a M45A1 Colt, so you can run this kind of cool 45 pistol if you want. Used to only be findable in raid, you couldn't buy it. The 762 Scar, the G28, and then the Thor armor, which is a class 6 full body armor, heavy, not super good, but gives you a chance to run it if you want. Kind of cool little armor to try out on factory and stuff like that if you're interested. Next up, we have Mechanic, and for his barters, we got the D60 mag. So some of you guys looking to do your gunsmith tasks, here's an awesome opportunity to get that D60. After that, we have the Raptor rangefinder, and then interestingly enough, we have the anodized red advanced tube, which this is like the highest meta tube there is. It's usually super expensive, and somehow because it's painted red, it adds muzzle velocity. So it's always kind of been a joke about that. So that's available. On top of that, you also have the 3 different kind of specialty 45 USP pistols. So you've been dying to try one of those out and you can't get them or you can't build them. Here's the USP 45 with all its glory for you to barter for and use. Now, lastly, we have Ragman on obviously armor barters. So the first one we have here is the Rice T helmet, available at level 1. Super cool helmet. Problem is you can't get a face shield for it. That's only on loyalty level 4 proper. Ragman. So unless you have 4 Ragman, you can't get the face shield because you can't buy it off flea market. Hopefully this is an oversight. Maybe they get it fixed. Maybe we'll see a face shield here before the end of the day or this weekend so that you can actually put one on this this helmet and have it usable. After that, we have the 3 Gen 4 body armors. All 3 of them are here. The high mobility, the assault kit, and then the full protection, all available level 1 again. All right, so our last update here is on Ragman. They didn't have the Rice T face shield on there, but it's on there now for military cable. And then they removed the Gen 3 full. So you only have the Gen 4 high mobility and assault armors. So those are the changes they made since this morning. I'll keep you guys updated if they make any more. The Hex Grid, which is one of the higher end armors in the game. It's crazy. This thing was unavailable. You have to get it off like cultists, I think. And I don't know if raiders had it or not. I think cultists might have been the only way you could get this, but nonetheless, it's for a barter now. And then my favorite armor, probably arguably one of the best armors in the game, if not the best in my opinion, especially now this wipe. CPC mod 2 is available at level 1 for your using needs. Great if you want to run reserve and you have a red rebel, because you can take the extract with it. Now, like I said, this nuked the market for now. I mean, everything just skyrocketed up. VPX has stayed kind of down, but a lot of the other stuff is just absurdly expensive because of these barters. Hopefully as we get through, this is early in the morning. This thing hit a couple hours ago, maybe an hour and a half ago. And as we get through Friday into Saturday and more players are getting on, hopefully we'll see these electronic prices come back down so these barters make a little bit more sense, or just go run raids on Lighthouse and reserve and get the tech yourself and have a field day. Now, again, what's the lore behind this? Not 100% sure yet. I've got a lot of thoughts down, but I didn't want to rush out and say something stupid or not true and lead people down the wrong path. So let me get that together. We'll do a full recap tomorrow on our weekly video. This week in Tarkov, I think, is where we're at right now. Some guys want to do this week around Tarkov, but I think is kind of a bad name for a video series. But we'll dive into that some more there, as well as any other news that might come out later today. And one other thing I want to say is I don't think this is a wipe. I 100% don't think this is a wipe. So don't panic. I think this is just an event, fun event. But I've seen some people asking questions and worried about it. But I don't think that's it. Don't worry about it. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have good luck in your raids, and we'll see you in Tarkov.